After Meryl's disappearance, there's no way any of us is going out on our own. Alasdair turned to face the mountains again. His enhanced eyesight could make out one group of dragons flying and another clustered on the slopes. He had thought that coming to Zora and finding their dragons once again would heal the part of him that had festered since the dragons crossed the dragon bridge. But he'd been wrong. If anything, his wound chafed even more. "Things are no right here," he murmured. Hector grunted. "They were never going to be like they were on Earth." He paused. "Con's headed toward us." Alasdair picked up the sound of approaching footsteps. He wasn't surprised that Constantine wanted a word. The King of Kings didn't miss much. Con was the reason they had gotten through the aftermath of the war with the humans and the departure of their dragons. Without him, none of the kings would be standing here now. Con stopped on Alasdair's other side without saying a word. For a long time, the three of them simply observed the dragons in the distance. It had been untold eons since they had seen their kind flying freely, and it always made them pause and take it in. "It never gets old, does it?" Con finally asked. Hector shook his head. "Never." "They do not want us here," Alasdair stated. Con's chin dropped to his chest before he let out a sigh. "We know. Eowyn and Brandr are in constant communication with them, explaining everything." The twins. Con and Rhee's half-dragon, half-light-fae children guarded Zora and the dragons with their lives. The Dragon Kings were here by invitation only. If there hadn't been a threat to the dragons, Alasdair wasn't sure if any of them would have stepped foot on Zora. But the fact was, Eowyn and Brandr needed help, and the kings were more than ready to lend a hand. The more Alasdair watched the dragons, the more heartsick he became. He put his back to them. "I'm going to search for Meryl." "Alasdair," Con began, "I know Stonemore is on alert after Cullen and Shaw shifted into dragons in front of everyone. I do not plan to go there." Con's black eyes met his. "Stonemore's soldiers will be hunting for anyone they perceive as different. I'm no afraid of them. However," he hurried to say, when Con's lips parted to argue, "I do not intend to fan the flames of war. There is already enough wood on that fire." Hector grunted as he turned to Alasdair. "It would only take a spark to set everything off." "And we do not want that," Con added. Then his lips twisted. "Unfortunately, I'm no sure we could defuse the situation. I fear the war will happen regardless." "It's Earth all over again," Alasdair stated. Hector rubbed his eyes with his thumb and forefinger. "We won't make the same mistakes." "We were no monsters then, and we will na be now," Con added as he faced them. Alasdair shrugged helplessly. "It has been weeks without word from Meryl. Varric was held at Orgate with chains that prevented his magic from reaching us. The same might be true for Meryl. Shaw told us how warriors from Orgate were at Stonemore. They hate us for showing Jaira the truth. No to mention the fact that she fell in love with Varric and freed him," Hector added. A breeze ruffled Con's wavy blonde hair. "You're no the only one who wants to search for Meryl." Alasdair held Con's gaze. He wouldn't beg. It wasn't his way. He'd made his case. That was all he could do. "I might lead on Earth, but the decision here rests with Eowyn and Brandr," Con explained. Alasdair had expected such a response. "I'm no asking for permission. I can no stay with the dragons. No now. I can find Meryl. I will find him." "And if you're caught?" Con asked. "I will na get caught." "I'll have his back," Hector added. "Nay," Con and Alasdair replied in unison. Con raised his hand to quiet Hector before saying, "I'd prefer the two of you go, but it will be better if Alasdair searches on his own."